While other Republicans may have laid off the COVID flashbacks, he said people in Nevada are still very animated over the lockdowns.
We had all-time high small business closures. Our schools were closed when they didn't need to be closed. The damage is irreversible.
Laxalt says he's reached out to the large Latino vote in the state more than any other Republican candidate has. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Tomorrow in Israel, the fifth parliamentary election in 2 years.
The last election saw a number of parties form a coalition to take control of Israel's government away from the long-ruling Likud party of Benjamin Netanyahu. But now there is a belief tomorrow's voting could see Likud, with perhaps other parties, winning enough seats to return to power. Israel has been enduring increasing violence as of late from Palestinian terrorists, prompting military retaliation. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Happy Halloween. The National Retail Federation says Americans plan to spend about $100 on average.
That's comparable to last year's record of $103 and the second highest in the survey's history, which goes back to 2005. According to Google Trends data, which costumes are the most popular Halloween costume search this year? Also in the top 10, Spider-Man, Dinosaur, Stranger Things, Fairy, Pirate, Rabbit, Cheerleader, Cowboy, and Harley Quinn.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. The jackpot for tonight's Powerball drawing is over $1 billion for the second time ever. It's the fifth largest prize in U.S. lottery history. The chance to hit all six numbers, one in 292 million. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Don't miss it. Fox Across America with me, Jimmy Fallon, on the news talk station, KROE.
KROE. At Eliason Financial, money management isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about dreams and opportunities, and more importantly, family. We'll take time to get to know you. Then we'll develop a unique wealth management plan that works hard, just like you. To learn more about who we are and what our wealth management advisors can do for you, visit Eliason Financial online or call 307-672-3010. Securities offered through Royal Alliance Associates, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Everyone's story is different, but one thing is always true. Your trade-in is just as important to the equation as the new vehicle. Hi, this is Brad at Primary Motors, and we recently had a customer whose trade-in had been taken care of like it was part of the family and had sentimental attachment. We already had a local customer in mind, and they knew each other. Both of our customers were glad that they had come to Primary Motors that day. See us today at Primary Motors, 2305 Coffin Avenue, or online at primarymotors.com.
Got a chip or need a windshield repaired? Hi, I'm Cindy Wolf. We invite you to stop down at Novus Auto Glass on North Main Street in Sheridan. Jim and I were both born and raised in Sheridan and are proud to continue to run Novus Auto Glass as a locally owned business. We offer same-day appointments for chip repair. Novus is also the only glass shop in town that can provide recalibrations for your safety systems on newer vehicles. Mention this ad, get $5 off a chip repair and $20 off a replacement. Come down to 347 North Main Street or give us a call at Novus Auto Glass, 307-672-0139 for an appointment.
Are you sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? Dr. Colin Hardy and his team at Atlas Chiropractic are here to help. When your spine is out of alignment or subluxated, the nervous system can't function properly. Spinal misalignments can lead not only to headaches and back pain, but also sleeplessness, chronic tiredness, decreased immunity, and general malaise. Don't wait. Call Atlas Chiropractic today for a free examination and consultation with Dr. Hardy. It's time to spring into a healthier you at Atlas Chiropractic, Sheridan's premier wellness center. Call 672-6000 to schedule your appointment.
This is Dr. Colin Hardy with Atlas Chiropractic. Be sure to ask us about our new patient specials. Take the first step to a better you. Call 672-6000. That's 672-6000. Your healing begins when you pick up the phone.
Remember when your mom used to say, always wear clean underwear in case you get in an accident? Well, if you ignored her, and now you're getting your neck collar fitted and you have on day-old underwear, then you need the calming, health-giving stuff you can only get at the Health Nut. Aisle after aisle of the supplements you need to get better and to stay better in a healthy deli and grocery store. And no one judges you for your underwear habits. The Health Nut in Sheridan's 5th Street Mall.
Desperado Dave here with Sheridan Honda and Power Sports and First Northern Bank Pro Football Pick'em. Here's what happened this week on KROE.
Dave Cox. I was looking at the thing this morning. David says Desperado Dave. I thought it said Desperate Dave.
Wow.
7 points.
Very bad.
Trevor was working on that one all day.
Yeah. No, I just saw it about an hour ago and I thought, oh, that's what I thought it said. Well, anyway.
He did very
James,
well.
10.
I know. I didn't pick Thursday night, but I picked the rest of them.
So that's why you got the star and the 10 wins.
That's exactly. Yeah, I mean, probably. But here's the thing. I mean, this is all hindsight. I would have picked Arizona.
Oh, whatever.
Okay, let's go. Kansas, your team, the Pack.
Okay, I'm going to go Packers.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am serious.
Loyalty.
Yes, I'm loyal.
We're live every Wednesday at 7:40 a.m. on KROE 103.9. Play along with us for a chance to win a prize valued at $100 every week. Make your picks at Pro Football Pick'em on the contest page on SheridanMedia.com.
This is Public Pulse, your information and conversation program, brought to you by Eliason Financial. You can voice your opinion by calling 672-KROE. That's 672-5763. Now, your host for Public Pulse, Floyd Whiting.
Good morning and welcome to Public Pulse. First off, happy Halloween. Now, all the way back in July, we talked about a partnership between the Sheridan Economic Development Task Force and the Wyoming Business Council. A Sheridan review was conducted known as Thrive 2035. A community review is a small survey of sorts to gather the input of residents and visitors alike on where they would like to see Sheridan in 10 to 15 years. The Sheridan Community Review Thrive 2035 contains only 3 questions. What do you value about your community? What do you value about the Sheridan area? What would you like to see in the future, approximately 10 to 15 years from now? Joining me to talk about this review is the Chief Executive Officer of the Sheridan County Chamber of Commerce, Dixie Johnson, and the Executive Director of the Center for a Vital Community at Sheridan College, Amy Albright. Good morning, ladies, and happy Halloween.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, I see, Amy, you've got a little outfit on today.
Got a little outfit. I myself am of the punny people. Yeah.
Which is great. I love
like the puns.
The blessing in disguise.
Yes. So I'm wearing a sign that says "Bless you," and I have a mask.
Looks amazing. Looks amazing.
Thank you.
Now, what and who is the Sheridan Economic Development Task Force?
Oh, starting off with the big questions.
That's the big one.
Well, the Sheridan Economic Development Task Force is actually an ad hoc group of individuals and organizations that are interested in our area's economy and working together. It's actually been in existence since 2011 and is comprised of several partners. Again, it's ad hoc, so there's not a lot of formal structure to it. But the Chamber of Commerce has been a participant in the EDTF, is what we call us, since 2011. And some of our partners also include Sheridan College, the City of Sheridan, Sheridan County Travel and Tourism, Downtown Sheridan Association. In the past, North Main Association. They haven't been participating as of late. Impact 307 or Impact Sheridan, as people know, Scott and his group here. And then also CEDA, the Sheridan Economic and Educational Development Authority. And I mentioned Sheridan College. And of course, with this effort, the CVC, and under really in keeping with what their mission is, they're a great addition to our EDTF in this effort with the community review. And you had mentioned that it's a survey, but the survey is actually just one part of the overall review. And the survey that we've been conducting since, I think, July, and Scott Rendell and I were on here a few months ago talking about it, is kind of our step one. And then we're going to move into listening sessions, which we're here to talk about as step 2.
All right. So let's head back to the beginning for those who may not know. Why was this survey developed?
The survey itself, so the Wyoming Business Council, they have conducted community reviews in communities around Wyoming for years. And I think they've done somewhere like I remember them talking at City Council, I think like 87 of these.
Wow.
Sheridan has not had any type of a community review done for several years now. I think 2010 might be the last one that was done. And so we felt it was time to really open up an opportunity for people to have a say into what they want our community to look like. And this information that we're gathering and that will be gathered and put together and compiled and ultimately delivered in a report will give us in our community an opportunity to really say, what is it that the citizens want? It's so much more exciting to be able to do this than to have community leaders just move things forward and our community to end up in a situation and then people come back and say, well, why did you do this? We didn't want that. Mm-hmm. And so this is an opportunity for people to have their voices heard. And that's what we've been trying to get across for the last couple of months. And what we really want to get across now is this is an opportunity to bring your values to participate and help shape our future for all of Sheridan County.
I think a lot of times leadership ends up kind of learning something new through this type of activity. I'm going to take, for instance, the situation with the train. One side felt very strongly that everyone wants it to be moved. Everybody wants this thing to happen this way. And I think they learned through surveying and asking the community that, in fact, it wasn't as many as they originally thought. Mm-hmm. And so that's one reason why I love surveys like this, because we're really getting down to what does everybody have to say about this.
Right.
On that, how was this developed? We only have 3 questions, 4 technically, because they do ask for your zip code. But how were the 3 questions chosen? Who sat around and threw ideas into the hat on this one?
So, it didn't just start with ideas just, being thrown up on a board. It actually, we used a lot of what the Wyoming Business Council has learned over the last several community reviews they've done.
Why reinvent the wheel, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's absolutely copy. If there's something that has worked, let's use what they've used in other communities. And so really, we did take some questions that I think their latest community review they conducted was over in Gillette. And their questions were similar, but phrased just a little differently. And I think what we incorporated, I think they used the word love instead of value. And we decided we wanted to utilize the word value because really what we're hoping is that our values really come through in helping to shape our future in Sheridan and Sheridan County. And so we changed up a couple of words, but otherwise we didn't really change a lot. And so this is, again, the first piece and the first step. And from this, there's a lot of really interesting information that's coming out. And our group of Wyoming Business Council reps are coming into this community this week. They're analyzing and taking all the survey information. And by the way, the survey will be open through the end of the weekend. So if you haven't had a chance, make sure you get in and fill that out. And it is available on our website, which is SheridanWyomingChamber.org. It's also on the city's website, the county's website, and a number of others as well. But we want to hear from people. They're going to take this information and then also combine it with the information that they hear from the listening sessions, which is kind of why we're here to talk about that and invite everybody to those. And then ultimately we'll end up with a town hall meeting this week. And then they'll take it, distill it down, and we'll have a report and some next steps.
Now, how is leadership going to take this survey and go forward? I mean, is this going to be utilized by city councils or county commissions? Will they take into account the information that is gathered here in future decisions?
Yes, and yes.
Fantastic.
I mean, ultimately, we are hoping that not only all the partners, but other people throughout Sheridan County in leadership positions, or as they're thinking about what the future might look like or making decisions that would lead to an outcome in our community, that they take this information and use it. It's not ours. It's not the chamber's. It's not Amy's. It's not ours to hold in a little file and put on a shelf. It's actually going to be information that we hope everybody throughout the community uses and can point to, because it really is. It's going to be current information. We've asked people to, voice their opinions, and several have. I think we have over 800 surveys that have been completed so far. But again, here's an opportunity. We hope everybody will take advantage of it and participate.
Now, before I go to break, what are the stages of this survey? We've taken the survey. Now what?
You want to talk about that, Amy?
Yes, I know you were sad that I wasn't saying anything. I, of course, was dying. So now we're on to the next phase, which is the listening sessions, which is what Dixie's been referring to. And those are going to be Wednesday and Thursday. And if we can get into them after the break, I would love to, because that's where the rubber's really going to meet the road, where we've heard all of these themes. Dixie can sort of talk about, we've only seen a little bit of it. So here's what the Wyoming Business Council, here's what we've heard for themes. You need to come and tell us, what does that mean to you? If you're talking about open spaces, if you're talking about managed growth, I want to know what that means specifically. Like, tell us what that looks like.
Or even values.
Yes.
We all differ on values.
Small town values. Okay, what does that mean to have small town values?
Yeah.
Tell us.
All right. And we're going to talk about this more with the Sheridan Economic Development Task Force and the Sheridan Community Review Thrive 2035. When we come back, this is Public Pulse on 930 KROE and 103.9 FM. Sheridan.
At Eliason Financial, money management isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about dreams and opportunities, and more importantly, family. We'll take time to get to know you. Then we'll develop a unique wealth management plan that works hard, just like you. To learn more about who we are and what our wealth management advisors can do for you, visit Eliason Financial online or call 307-672-3010. Securities offered through Royal Alliance Associates, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Got a chip or need a windshield repaired? Hi, I'm Cindy Wolf. We invite you to stop down at Novus Auto Glass on North Main Street in Sheridan. Jim and I were both born and raised in Sheridan and are proud to continue to run Novus Auto Glass as a locally owned business. We offer same-day appointments for chip repair. Novus is also the only glass shop in town that can provide recalibrations for your safety systems on newer vehicles. Mention this ad, get $5 off a chip repair and $20 off a replacement. Come down to 347 North Main Street or give us a call at Novus Auto Glass 307-672-0139 for an appointment.
When it comes to hunting and fishing, your bragging rights aren't always about that big buck or deer, pheasant or trout. It's also about that time spent with family and friends. C&B Operations and Sheridan Media present the Bragging Rights Photo Contest, where you can not only win a $300 custom hunting knife, courtesy of Buckaroo Blades, but amazing prizes from C&B Operations. Sure, enter that trophy on the contest page of SheridanMedia.com, but you can also enter pics of you and your family or buddies just enjoying the Wyoming outdoors. C&B Operations, your local John Deere dealer, is also featuring their new home and ranch supply hardware center with a huge prize package, which you can only enter at C&B store on Heartland Drive. And this is cool. C&B will also be donating $1,000 in the name of the Bragging Rights Contest to the Wyoming Wildlife Federation. So brag a little. Send us your pics, and maybe you'll be the winner of one heck of a hunting knife while helping to preserve hunting and fishing in Wyoming. Enter today at SheridanMedia.com.
You bagged your trophy elk. Now, imagine having its ivory handcrafted into the perfect piece of jewelry. At Legacy Diamond & Gems, their in-house jewelers can take your memory of the big hunt and preserve it into fine pieces of jewelry to last generations. Using your imagination, the skilled jewelers at Legacy Diamond & Gems can create something truly exceptional. Visit them at 11 North Main Street or online at LegacyDiamondGems.com. Hurry in now, as the cutoff date for guaranteed Christmas delivery is November 1st.
Ever heard of Gannett Health, Cannoli Bliss, or I Call Shotgun? These are the names of innovative business plans that have been selected as finalists of Impact 307's Sheridan Startup Challenge. Come learn more about their exciting product and service offerings, as well as 3 other finalists at the annual Sheridan Community Pitch Night, November 1st, 5:30 p.m. at the WYO Theater. Finalists compete for $100,000 in seed funding, and an Audience Choice Award winner will be selected by attendees. Can't make it to the WYO? Join our event live stream at SheridanMedia.com.
Good morning and welcome back to Public Pulse, brought to you by our friends out there at Eliason Financial. I'm Floyd Whiting. This morning, I'm with the Chief Executive Officer of the Sheridan County Chamber of Commerce, Dixie Johnson, and the Executive Director of the Center for a Vital Community at Sheridan College, Amy Albright. We're discussing the Sheridan Community Review, Thrive 2035, the development, intent, and the level of participation. Before the break, we touched a little bit on the upcoming listening sessions. So let's dive right into these. Where and when will these listening sessions be taking place?
Well, funny that you should ask. I happen to have a whole schedule. But you also, because no one's going to write this down. So just to let you know that go to SheridanCounty.com. And you can get the schedule, and then do you have it on the Chamber's?
I also saw it as a banner on Sheridan Media. I was looking at the Public Pulse schedule this
Yes,
morning.
I was going to say, I've also got it running there.
As I was like, oh, there's our community listening schedule.
Yes.
So
we've got it all over. But just to so we've got one in Tongue River Valley. These are Wednesday and Thursday this week. So we've got one in Tongue River Valley in Ranchester at the Community Center from 8 to 9. Then
Wednesday.
On Wednesday. Then we make a big move to the Trails End Motel Conference Room, which is kind of, I would sort of say, in the middle of the complex, wouldn't you say?
Right.
Right, just so if you're looking for it. And we're going to have those from 10 to 11, and then 11:30 to 12:30. And then we're going to move to the Hub on Smith to the Senior Center from 2 to 3, 3:30 to 4:30, and 5 to 6. So, we tried to make some around lunch. We tried to make some a little early-ish in Ranchester. And then if you're coming out of work, you can go straight to the Hub on Smith to the community room from 5 to 6. So we're basically running from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. with just like half-hour breaks.
That's fantastic.
On Wednesday, yeah.
On Wednesday.
And that's day one.
That's day one. So you don't, and I just want to make sure everyone's clear with this. No reservations. Don't have to RSVP. Just show up. We really want to hear what you have to say. And then Thursday, we start at 7:30 in the morning at the Ramada Plaza. So that'll be 7:30 to 8:30, then 9 to 10, then 10:30 to 11:30, all at the Ramada. That's all going to be in the Solitude room?
I believe so. In one of the rooms in the convention center, I think Solitude is what she had scheduled for us.
And then for Bighorn, we're going to go to the Bighorn Women's Club from 1 to 2. And then the Business Council is going to get themselves ready after all those listening sessions of those 2 days. And we'll have the town hall meeting where they're going to talk about what they heard. What was important from between the some very initial survey results and then the listening sessions. So that'll be the town hall meeting at the YO Theater Black Box from 6:30 to 8:30. So what we're going to ask people to do is both come and listen and then also help us prioritize these topics. So I mean, there's lots of, this is really, really intentional that people are getting into it. It's not us telling you what it is or what's going to happen. It's you, collective you, the community saying, this is what the stuff that we think is important, and this is how we want to see it prioritized as far as going forward. So
these listening sessions, although they're called listening sessions, these are more interactive. We're looking for participation.
Apps, please.
Okay.
Absolutely. And so the members of the Economic Development Task Force, those of us who've been working on it from this side, one of us might be there just to help out, but these are all led by a team from the Wyoming Business Council that are coming into the community tomorrow. And then for the next few days, that's what their whole focus and primary responsibility is to engage with our community. So whether you live anywhere in Sheridan County, if you have an hour to spare, please, show up to one of these and participate. There's nothing we're not going to, twist your arm and make you sign up for anything in the future, but there will be opportunities, most likely to stay involved with this process as we go forward. There's a whole next part of the process that they talk about, which they call strategic doing. And I'm not going to pretend that I know what that's all about. Amy probably knows a lot more about it, but Amber Power with Wyoming Business Council is kind of the lead on this, and she's got a lot of background, a long background, very strong background.
You said 85 of these have been done, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we're excited to continue into seeing what that next step is, but we really want to see a really strong turnout at these listening sessions. So please show up.
Please show up.
There's plenty of time that we can make.
Oh man.
one of these meetings
Yes,
somewhere.
please.
They're all over the place. They're all day long.
Yep.
Now, how are these things going to be formatted? I show up. I'm sitting there. Are they going to tell me this is what we've seen the most, and what do you think on that? Or do I show up with my thinking cap on? I want to see this happen today, tomorrow, next Friday.
I feel like yes. I mean,
Again, we're not leading it there.
But I think that there's room for all of those things. I mean, they will have already seen some of the data that's been extrapolated. Big word. Lots of caffeine.
Spell that one.
Yes. From the surveys, just some big themes. But then they are really going to want it because you don't have to have filled out the survey to come to the listening sessions at all. Please come but if you didn't fill out a survey, come and tell us more about what you said or what your thoughts were. And you said something about the zip code. Well, those are great because it really shows Dayton. This is what some of your residents have said. This is what's important to them. Manchester, Story, Bighorn, Claremont. Who knows?
Or even visitors. We have no idea where this one comes from.
I'll tell you, we did the we did the
Third
Third
Thursdays.
It was so much fun. Because you had people come back, well, I'm not from here. That's okay. Do you like Sheridan? Yes. What is it you like about it?
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was super interesting.
So we got a lot of participation from people like that.
Or we just moved here and this is why.
Right.
Oh.
So, yeah.
See, that's an interesting one, too. I would love to hear that. What new people into town's got to say. Now, just real quick, what are these listening sessions not intended to be?
Well, there's not going to be any yelling. It's not going to be like, it's not a candidate forum. Not that your candidate forums are yelling, but other candidate forums might be. No, this is a listening session. So if you have something to say and we want to hear it, I mean, it's not come and bitch about, I mean, it's just not what it is. It's come and tell us, about the future, what's important to you. And, I have been saying this for a long time, but, this community is changing. It always changes. It doesn't matter. You're either growing or you're dying. And so we're clearly growing.
That is true.
You're growing or you're dying. We're clearly growing, and that's a blessing. And if you want to decide how you want it to grow, because it's going to. So if you want to decide how it's going to grow, then you need to show up.
You need to be a part of it.
Yes.
You need to be a part of the process as we go forward.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're just kind of standing on the sidelines watching things change without
your
any
help.
influence.
Right. Yes.
And when it comes to people like that, it's like individuals who don't vote. You don't get to complain
That's exactly
after somebody's elected to office if you haven't gone down and put your 2 cents
Thank you, Floyd,
in.
for not making me get on that particular.
All right. Now, this information can also be used to help with future grants.
Oh, yeah.
What types of future grants can this information actually be used to help us achieve, to help us get rounded up?
Well, I think that's yet to be seen because depending on where we land, the community lands on priorities, there might be something that comes from it that says this is something that the citizens feel really, really strongly about, that we need to, and I say we collectively, we need to do something about as community leaders. And it might be maybe the city, maybe it's Sheridan, maybe it's CEDA, or maybe it's the county, and they say, hey, let's put our priorities here. Let's put some effort behind this because this is what we've heard, and there might be some money out there that they could possibly apply for that could help with a certain effort. So I had somebody who came into the chamber office on Friday afternoon, and it was right before 5 p.m., and he was a lovely older gentleman who is trying to kind of move here, but he's not from here. But he was questioning, the Goose Creek that runs through town and the concrete chutes and all of that. And so I guess that's what first came to mind. If the community says, hey, this is a big priority for us, then maybe that's where our community leaders are able to then shift their prioritization and say, let's start looking for some funding that can help us pay for some of these things.
To help either pay for the development of something or fixing something, X, Y, and Z, whatever that might be.
And it looks great on a grant application that you have a percentage of your citizens saying this is important to us.
Absolutely. And you've got a survey to back it up.
Even, with like the comprehensive plans, land use planning, all of those plans that our county commissioners, our leaders at the city and the county use, some of the information that's in here could inform some updates to those plans too, without having to then go through a whole nother process specifically around that. So we're excited, and I just want to extend my appreciation to everybody who's decided to be a part of this and understands the importance. I think we've got some amazing community leaders in and around Sheridan County. And Amy's one who just said, hey, I want to be a part of this, and stepped up and has really stepped up to the plate. And I really want to appreciate you and thank you for doing that. But again, this is an opportunity. I love our community. And I know we're going to change, but let's be a part of it,
Absolutely.
What it looks like.
Absolutely. Everyone should be involved in this because we are all part of the community.
That's it.
Amy, Dixie, thank you both for coming in here and speaking with me on this morning.
Always a pleasure.
And
Thank
I
you.
hope you guys get a lot of turnout. This is
I
really
hope so
important
too.
stuff.
Thank you so much for allowing us to talk about
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
And encourage
Thank you.
people.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk with the leadership of the Straight to Service program and meet one of its members. This is Public Pulse on 930 KROE, 103.9 FM. Sheridan.
At Eliason Financial, money management isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about dreams and opportunities, and more importantly, family. We'll take time to get to know you. Then we'll develop a unique wealth management plan that works hard, just like you. To learn more about who we are and what our wealth management advisors can do for you, visit Eliason Financial online or call 307-672-3010. Securities offered through Royal Alliance Associates, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
With more than 30 years of providing excellent service to Sheridan area businesses, Parker Mellinger has the knowledge and expertise to help solve your bookkeeping problems, answer questions about IRS notices, and discuss your business concerns. Schedule a review of your financial records today, and we'll find solutions that work best for you. Ask about our exclusive fixed price agreement, 1 annual fee, unlimited phone calls and meetings. Parker Mellinger, 1811 South Sheridan Avenue, Sheridan.
Sheridan Orthopedic Associates continues its over 50-year tradition of surgical excellence in Northeast Wyoming and Southern Montana with the addition of Dr. Jory Wasserberger, a Wyoming native, and fellowship trained at the Mayo Clinic in Orthopedic Sports Medicine. Dr. Wasserberger joins a team of highly rated surgeons providing spine, sports, hand, hip, knee, and shoulder surgery, joint replacement, and more, including emergency care 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at SheridanOrtho.com to learn more.
Every 4 years, the citizens of Sheridan County have the opportunity to vote on the county's general purpose excise tax, known as the 1 cent optional. This tax is used to benefit every community throughout our county on things from social and health services to public facilities and infrastructure, including parks and pathways. For more information on the tax, please contact your elected officials or visit SheridanCounty1cent.com and vote on November 8th. Message paid for by Sheridan County.
This is Riata Cook, Miss Rodeo Wyoming 2023. I would like to invite you to my coronation fundraiser on Saturday, November 5th at the Best Western. Come enjoy a tour of Italy dinner, drinks, a silent and live auction, and finish the night off dancing to Tris Munsick and the Innocents. To get ticket, go to MissRodeoWyoming.com. If you would like to donate an auction item or become one of my personal sponsors, email me at Riata, that is REATA, at MissRodeoWyoming.com. Purchase tickets at MissRodeoWyoming.com.
Voting this year? Keep in mind that Wyoming law requires voters to show an acceptable form of identification when voting in person at the polls. There are several things you can use as identification, including a driver's license, a tribal ID card, a U.S. military card, a valid U.S. passport, a valid Medicare or Medicaid card, and your UW Wyoming Community College or Wyoming Public School ID. If you don't have one of these, you may obtain a free Wyoming ID card from the local driver services office.
Good morning and welcome back to Public Pulse, brought to you by our friends out there at Eliason Financial. I'm Floyd Whiting. Now, this morning, for our second part, I'm joined by Jill Moriarty, the founder of the current version of Straight to Service, the trainer and the facilitator for Straight to Service program, Shan Foster, and Straight to Service recipient, Morgan Shepherdson, and Annie, her straight to service dog. Now, Annie's down below. We can't see her on the live feed, but I assure you, folks, she's there.
Unless you want her in the chair.
Good. I don't think I can see her on that one either, but we'll just leave her where she's nice and comfy. Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing? Jill, I've missed you.
Yeah, I've missed being here.
Now, when it comes to Stray to Service, what does this program do?
So, working with Shan, we get applications via the website for people who are looking for a service dog. It was primarily for veterans, but we've kind of opened it up to other people. This year we had one recipient who was not a veteran. She just had severe anxiety and some other issues, and then 2 other veterans. So we try and pair dogs with people who need them so that they can have an independent life and a better life.
Yeah. And now, how did this originally develop?
So Julie Chadwick was the interim director when they were going through some changes up at the shelter, and she started a program called the Anchor Dog program. And there was a trainer in town, and then she moved away and would come up once a week, but it just, in the winter, it didn't work. And there were just some other changes that needed to be made, with every pilot project, even like we have since the first year, we've made several changes. So she started that, and then I recognized that we had the talent of Shan Foster in town, found him and recruited him to start this program up and do it in a really different way, but we can actually train more dogs. They actually go to his facility. They're not just housed at the shelter anymore.
And usually when I introduce Shan, there's a whole list of certifications, qualifications, education that you
go on.
But I mean, you have really dedicated your life, Shan, to training dogs for multiple services, not just Stray to Service, but canine, military. I mean, you've run the gambit.
Yeah.
And so
40 years? 43
years.
43 years of training animals. And it's absolutely amazing that, that you just dedicated so much of your time to include deployments overseas. Now, I just want people to understand that as we go forward with this. How did you find Shan?
How did I?
Oh, I think you... that's kind of a blur.
It was... because I think it was Bike Club first, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Actually,
another great program over there.
She actually came to my facility first. Somehow she had heard about us, because of the shelter work, and she heard about my background with this particular type of training. I was employed in San Diego with an organization very similar to what we have now. And what she wanted to do was recreate that.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I know what it was. It was the first dog, Daisy, who was a super hyper hound mix, but we felt like she had potential to have a drug sniffing or something kind
of working animal.
So we approached him to kind of assess her abilities and then trained her a little bit. And she did end up going, where did she go?
South Dakota and eventually to California.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which we always forget to add her, don't we?
But she's doing
working.
a job somewhere. Yeah. Now, has this program has it grown too large? Because it used to be associated with the Sheridan Dog and Cat Shelter, but now you're more independent.
Yes, we are forming a 501c3, which is a nonprofit corporation. So we'll have a board that's entirely separate from the shelter. We will still mostly use shelter dogs, but we've expanded because Mason Lane, who has trained under Shan for several years, has a place in Arkansas. He'll still come out in the summer, but he can house some dogs there. So we're trying to be more of a regional or even maybe national organization.
Oh, wow.
Which just didn't fit with the priorities of the shelter. It became too big to manage, so it was a mutual decision.
Yeah, no bad blood. It's just everyone's growing up right now.
We're still getting dogs from there, so that's the point of it. There are, just like with Morgan and what Jill was saying in reference to, we're branching out to more than just veterans, and we want to be that versatile as well with the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be times where we don't get a dog from the shelter. We get it from maybe just somebody that donates it to us, or from my breeding program that I have on site at my kennel, that kind of thing. But mostly we will go with dogs that have been surrendered, and more or less even to the point where they're going to be put down. They're on that list, and
because they're too high drive.
Right.
Yeah, but then another chance at life.
Right.
Doing something that, heck, a lot of people wouldn't have assumed that these types of dogs can do. And you and I, Shan, have talked about that quite a bit.
Right.
Now, Morgan, tell me your story. Go ahead and pull that microphone right down on. There you go.
All right. Well, I guess first and foremost, my husband's a veteran. And I found this program just because I've had mental health issues for a very, very long time. And honestly, I didn't like my medication. I didn't like the way it made me feel. I've always been a little bit more self-sufficient.
Yeah.
In that there's nothing wrong with taking meds for mental health.
No, I agree.
Recommend
Yeah.
it 100%. However, I did not like them.
But I know exactly where you're coming from. I'm the same way. Yeah.
So I just kind of started searching, and I came across this program, and I was in touch with Shan and Jill, and it makes me happy that they take these dogs that may not have a future, and they give them to someone that also may not have a great future. And honestly, I can say that Annie is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I mean, apart from my husband and my daughter and all those wonderful things, she completely changed my life. And I'm so grateful to them that they took the time and energy to see something in her, but they also saw something in me. And I just think that's so cool. I'm a huge advocate for mental health awareness around the issues that, it's something a lot of people struggle with. And I think it's a little demonized, and just really great that there are other options out there. So
And other options outside of medication.
Yeah.
Because there are those of us who don't disagree with medication, but we just feel that it's not the right thing for us.
Right.
And so I'm one of those as well. I deal with it using other avenues. Now, how long have you and Annie been together?
We've been together 2.5 years now.
2.5 years. And how great have those been?
Those have been wonderful. She's helped me. I mean, like I was telling them, not only mentally, but she got me running, and I've lost 70 pounds. So physically, I'm a better person. I know that mentally, I've been a better mother, a better wife, a better coach. Like all the things that I'm passionate about, she allows me to do. And it's great to have my life back.
Now, this is a very rare opportunity for me, Morgan, so I might pick your brain just a little bit.
Go for it.
What is it about having Annie with you that really helps get you up, get you out of the funk, pulls you out of maybe like an anxiety attack? And for those individuals out there who actually suffer from anxiety, they know how debilitating an attack can be. Many times they're confused as a heart attack. That's how intense this feeling can get. What does Annie do for you?
I mean, really and truly, the biggest thing she does for me is she kind of keeps people away from me. So I do have PTSD, and I do not handle, especially gentlemen being behind me. She will never let anyone in my bubble. That is my favorite thing she does for me. She's extremely protective, but she's very grounding. Just in knowing that I have something else for me to focus on when I'm out in public, that I'm not hypervigilant because my dog is vigilant. So I don't have those worries. I don't feel like I need to constantly be on edge. And she is at the point now where she knows better than I do if something's coming, if a panic attack is coming or something like that. She knows, and she will tell me. And for the first probably 5 or 6 times that happened, I didn't understand what she was doing. I thought she was being naughty. And
really?
now-
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
And now she will like push her head under my hand or start yanking on the leash. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I need to step away for a little bit. But I can honestly say that having her and having something that I can depend on and knowing that I can go out and do these things, it's gotten so much better. I still have panic attacks. I still have issues. I still have really bad days. But I also have someone else that she also depends on me. If I don't get up and take her out to go potty, we're
gonna have a mess on our hands, right? Yeah.
So we have this really cool, I mean, usually codependence isn't a good thing, but I feel like in this instance, it really is. I mean, we depend on each other, and she keeps me safe.
So if I can interrupt and
No one's
highlight
gonna
on
stop
that.
you.
This is the part that I talk about. You and I have talked about this before. This is the part we don't train.
Yeah.
It happens through the training, through the development of the bond between the person and the dog. Something special starts to evolve, and that's the thing I can't put my finger on. And every time it does, I mean, it is like it's the first time it happened, and I'm always in awe at it.
Like a flash of grace.
It's absolute. It's almost like spiritual. I don't know how to explain it. And that, and that when I see it happen, right now I'm all tingly just talking about it. But that's what drives me to help. I know Mason. I know, and then Morgan and Annie. They were too easy.
Yeah.
It was.
But she reminded me, Hank was the first one for her.
She looked at.
And I looked at Hank, and Annie, something clicked, because you meet a bunch of the dogs when you're there and kind of see who you feel. And Hank was super sweet.
And Hank, by the way, is my daughter's dog now. So there was a reason.
Find a good home. Yeah.
And so I mean, and Annie, actually made eye contact with me and was really into me, and just there was something there from the very beginning, and it's been incredible.
But after 2.5 years now, just the slightest. I mean, would you say that if you're out and about with Annie, like the slightest eye movements? I mean, you notice these types of things now, where before you may not have even, walking an average dog, you might not have even paid attention to anything that was going on. Now Annie gives you signals.
Yes, she's very good. Like, she will, especially when we're running, she lets me know if anyone's around, anything's around. She will stop. She will look. If we're out in a store and there's something that I don't notice, she does. She makes eye contact with certain people or certain things, or she will get between me and another person. And it's just really comforting that I don't have to worry. Like, she's got my back.
Yeah.
She doesn't let me get into those situations anymore. So,
Shan, how do we choose these types of dogs? You and I've talked about this before, but for those who may not have heard before, how does Shan walk up and down and kind of, that one will work, that one won't work?
I like to, if any, there's a lot of people in this area that have a horse background, and what I call is bomb-proof. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a bomb-proof dog that mainly the mindset has to be stable.
Yeah.
So, and that just entails, a certain amount of tests. Like my tests are, see if they're environmentally stable. That would mean like slick floor sensitive, to noises. Like I'll clap 2x4s together to replicate gunfire, things like that. How food motivated they are, how social they are with people, how sensitive they are to touch. So we touch the flanks, we touch places on the dog that normally
usually aren't touched.
No, they aren't. It involves trust. And so if they show all those kind of signs, that's when we go to the next level. It's a series of things, but then, oftentimes, I guess because I've been doing this for so long, that they'll just walk through the door and I think that one's going to work.
Yeah. You get a feeling. Yeah, you develop that. Yeah.
So, and then also I get, which is huge, input from the shelter staff, because they're the ones taking the dogs in and out of the kennels. They're the ones taking them to the exercise yards. So I like to hear their input as well, because even though a dog may work, there's going to be some sort of a problem.
Yeah.
Typically, because
that's why they're there.
That's why they're at the shelter, right?
Yeah. I call it the walking wounded. But it doesn't mean they're not useful and they can't fulfill a duty at in some capacity. So let's say we have a perfect example is a fence fighter. So they like to fight other dogs through the fence. But then when you get them out and you start working them, that's not even an issue.
Yeah.
So it might be to someone, to the untrained eye or not experienced with dogs, thinking, well, he's just a butt. Well, he's not going to be workable. No, that's not the case. So, and I've also had dogs that aren't necessarily in that bomb-proof category. They may be sensitive or shy to certain areas, but when you start training them, that goes away.
You can work that out of them.
Yeah, because what they're doing is they're in a job. And when they're in a job in that mode, that's where they go, the little goofy stuff that used to bother me doesn't bother me right now because I'm on task.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about something else. And then as soon as they go out of that mode, you may have to deal with those particular issues. The funny thing is, too, separation anxiety with service dogs really isn't that big of an issue because they're always going to be with their owner, or typically like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So even with those, which is a big problem to me. I mean, I deal with it a lot because of my boarding facility. So when I board dogs that I don't train, I see that often in the dogs. They'll have separation anxiety.
Their owner's gone to Disneyland with the family or something, and they are flipping out.
But that does not cancel, that particular issue doesn't cancel out the dog in this area of service.
Yeah.
So I look at it a little bit, I'm a little less, I scrutinize a little less in that area because of what the dogs are going to be doing and how often they're going to be with their handler.
Absolutely. And Jill, like you and I used to talk about, sometimes, that isn't the dog that you're seeing. The dog at the shelter, right? I mean, they're in a bad situation. And unless they've really gotten used to being there, which some have been there quite a while, but you're looking at a dog who's in a very stressful situation, not a dog who's going to behave this same way all the time.
I would say 80% of the time.
Yeah,
Because it's, like Shan always says, it's an institution. It's just like people going to prison, even though everyone's really good and we're really lucky at our shelter. But for instance, Emmy and Marion talked about a big black shepherd.
Yeah.
And they said, Shan, you have to see this dog. His name's Dagger. I wanted to bring him today because it's Halloween. He's this giant black shepherd. And he said, no, he'd be like, but he's not going to be a service dog, but he has canine police, right?
Yeah.
Genetics. Yeah. He's a monster. And
I've only got about 2 minutes left, and I want Morgan to be able to help you guys out here. Because Morgan, would you tell me about your upcoming fundraiser? And again, I'm kind of running out of time, but what's going to happen?
So we're having an event. Luminous Brewhouse was nice enough to work with me, so Johnny and the crew there. So it's a dog-friendly brew house. My husband bartends there, so I was like, well, I'm going to do dog portraits. I do digital artwork. I'm going to put them in a calendar for the locals and then try to sell them. And then it just, because I don't know how to sit still, kind of morphed into a calendar release party with a silent auction, food truck, music, all that kind of stuff. So it's on December 11th at Luminous, but we're really hoping that we can raise a lot of money for these guys. They deserve it, and they give so much just selflessly. So
the calendar is going to be sold. There's going to be an auction or a silent auction. What else did you say was going to be going on?
There's going to be a food truck. We have live music. Danielle Law is going to be performing. And then, of course, Luminous has a lot of really good beer. So
this is going to be like a great calendar release party going on.
I'm hoping to make it annual as well. That's my goal.
And funds from this celebration, or a certain percentage of funds, is going to go back to the Stray to Service program.
Yes, I would say I'm hoping 80 to 90% will go back to them, and then the shelter deserves some too. So I'm hoping those will both be decent sized.
Fantastic. One more time on the date.
December 11th.
December 11th. All right. Shan, Jill, Morgan, thank you for coming in today. Annie, I know I can't see you. You can't see me, but I want to thank you. You've been listening to Public Pulse on 930 KROE and 103.9 FM. Sheridan.
At Eliason Financial, money management isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about dreams and opportunities, and more importantly, family. We'll take time to get to know you. Then we'll develop a unique wealth management plan that works hard, just like you. To learn more about who we are and what our wealth management advisors can do for you, visit Eliason Financial online or call 307-672-3010. Securities offered through Royal Alliance Associates, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
The McTeacher Nights are coming back to McDonald's on Coffeen Avenue. That's right. Thursday, November 3rd from 5 to 8 p.m. Coming to McDonald's on Coffeen Avenue. Have a great meal, and then a portion of the proceeds will benefit Bighorn Elementary. You'll be served by some of your favorite teachers, administrators, and, of course, the great McDonald's team. It's back. McTeacher Night, Thursday, November 3rd, 5 to 8 p.m., benefiting Bighorn Elementary School. McTeacher Night will be at the Coffeen Avenue location only.
Considering a big project and don't know where to begin? Wagner Ranch Services can help. Our experienced staff of engineers and equipment operators can take your project from the design and permitting phase right up through construction and completion. Wagner Ranch